Everyone thinks they have the best dog, and none of them are wrong, are the words from a person who definitely has closely analyzed humans' strong bond with their furry friends. Dogs are the best buddies who don't mind spending time with us 24/7, and we treat them as part of our family. So how could anyone possibly hurt our family? Moreover, expect us not to react? Isn't that outrageous? Something similar happened when a shocking discovery became the reason for this dog owner's anger. Animal shelters are not the only majority places which don't treat pooches well. Daycares stand in the line too. Luke Mullaney and his girlfriend Lauren Mayer live in Chicago, Illinois with their adorable Maya. Different types of German Shepherds can be seen as they're bred with many other breeds, and Maya too is a German Shepherd mixed breed pooch whom they adopted 2 years back from a German Shepherd adoption agency. Trust us when we tell you that they managed to spend quality time with Maya every day, even after their full-time jobs, that they never felt a need to enroll Maya in a daycare center. But due to some reasons, they gave it a second thought. The trend of dog daycare started with New York City's Yuppie Puppy Pet Care, owned by Joseph S. Sporn, that is said to be the first care center in the U.S. that started in 1987. Since then, the concept has been widely encouraged, and people have not just spent a large amount in buying dog products, but many have shown interest in opening dogs' daycares within their homes, and now there are local pet grooming services every here and there. Today, we are going to keep a clear picture in front of you of what happens in dog daycares. Dogs are the most petted animals across the United States, and the need of a daycare center is increasing every day, as with pet dogs comes a lot of responsibility. After coming home from a tiring day, all we want is to lay down and relax, while our dogs are always super active, ready to hit the roads for long walks. After staying quiet for the whole day and doing almost nothing, our pooch's excitement is justified. Owners wish that their dogs were equally tired and just cuddle with them, and that's the role of a daycare. However, Luke was happy to do all it takes for Maya. Somewhere early last year, Luke and Lauren decided to enroll Maya in a nearby dog's daycare. After checking out a few options, they finalized Posh Pet Day Spa, one of the best places for dog grooming, according to them, and not because they weren't able to give Maya all the time she needed, but for a different reason, and we find it valid enough. As you know, every dog is unique in its own way, and accordingly, their requirements differ, and only their owners can understand fine. Poor Maya was neglected by her previous owner, and now she had anxiety issues and wasn't open to socializing, and for this reason, Luke wanted to introduce her to other pups and let her spend time with other dogs at the spa. For around 1 year now, Luke had been dropping Maya at Posh Pet Day Spa 2 times a week, just expecting that Maya would feel less anxious in the company of other dogs, and would slowly come out of her shell and start feeling safe. All his hopes to see improvement in Maya's behavior shattered when he found something strange on Maya's neck. "I noticed there was a big box on the side of the collar, and that box was almost directly on her throat," recalled Luke later in an interview. On March 11, 2017, like every other day, Luke was on time to pick up Maya when he noticed an extra collar, which at first he thought was an identification mark to classify dogs, but then it was something weird which he never noticed in the last 1 year. Then he was unable to understand why now all of a sudden this big black band with a box was tightly wrapped around Maya's neck, and what he did next was obvious. As Luke was unable to understand why anyone would put a collar that tight on Maya's neck, and he was looking for an explanation from the staff, as he wanted to know if this was the first instance or if it is in their daily routine. Therefore, he immediately walked into the daycare to ask the staff what this is all about. Reasonable questions, but what response he received from the caretakers was disturbing. Luke later recalled the first response of the daycare staff in an interview. "The troubling thing was the first thing she said when I walked in the door and held it up was, 'uh-oh.' That was a rude response from the people who were supposed to take care of Maya and other people's pets as well. They definitely owe an answer to Luke, but they seem to be disinterested in the conversation." Luke was assured by the staff that there's nothing harmful about the collar, and it just made a mere sound to prevent Maya from barking if she ever does, and that's all. Keeping aside all the information, Luke wasn't convinced, as he had this sure feeling that something was suspicious about the collar tightly wrapped around Maya, but he didn't have any evidence to prove his words. "She didn't seem apologetic, more defending herself," the couple stated about the dog daycare spa owner. Although Luke asked for a clarification from the daycare center staff, he wasn't convinced at all with the replies he received. When he came home, he searched what exactly this collar was for and what was the purpose of this black box that was closely stuck to Maya's throat, and he found out the same product on an online shopping website. He was appalled by the idea of this. When Luke reached home and told Lauren about the day's incident, she checked on Maya's additional collar and she was stunned to see that there's a number 6 mentioned on the collar. The first thing I realized was that if there's a number 6 on it, there must be 5 others, Lauren reminisced her experience. There was something that was a complete disappointment for the two. Luke and Lauren were daunted as they realized that they left Maya at such a place where she wasn't even treated nicely when actually Maya's past demands utter kindness to grow out of the anxiety caused due to her previous owner's negligence. They regretted their decision of sending Maya to the daycare, but they were not ready to settle for this treatment of their beloved pet. Lauren was angry and she wanted to spread the word among other dog owners who were sending their pooches to a daycare, unaware of what goes on there with their dogs and how they're handled. So she posted on a dog owners group on Facebook about the day's incidents and the daycare staff's reaction to it and what this collar was for. When other dog owners shared their experiences, the word went viral. Many people commented in support of the daycare, stating that this might be a special case as Maya might have some issues, and shared their personal experiences when they've even dropped their dogs to the place overnight and picked them back up as happy as they were before. Therefore, it seemed confusing in the beginning, but soon a few comments told a true story. There were other people who had similar experiences with the Posh Pet Day Spa. One lady even shared an image that was common to what Luke and Lauren found out on Maya. It was identical to the collar they found around Maya's neck with a number 7 on it. Now they were sure that something sinister was going on there, but what was it? An anti-bark shock collar, as stated in the manual attached, activates at the sound of a bark and gets only more intense if it is continually activated, Lauren mentioned in her Facebook post. I have dropped off my dog every single time at Posh Pets and you can hear the dogs barking in the back. So my dog was wearing this collar and barks from other dogs while activating the shock on her when she probably wasn't even barking, Lauren further added. But did they have any proof of it being a shock collar? How were they even sure? When Luke researched on the basis of the photos he had taken, it was clear that it's a Pet Trainer Pet 853 anti-bark electric collar. The instructions clarified stops barking with progressively increasing sound and shock. To control a dog's behavior, shock collars are used. That was a confirmation of what was really going on, the daycare keeping it all aside. What the Posh Pet Day Spa owner has to say about it is even more disturbing. As we told its owner, the dog in question was mistakenly wearing the collar due to an error by our staff. The collar belonged to another dog whose owners requested that it be put on their dog. The daycare owner, Lynn Mulrennan, who was running the daycare as her family business over past years, claimed. What she said was not even an adequate justification for what they did, and the strangest facts are still missing here. There is nothing wrong with using these collars. They are valuable and humane training devices, and they are also regularly used in settings where many dogs are in close proximity, said Lynn in her defense, and further added, I use one on my own dog. He's a Beagle Basset mix. My daughter uses one on hers. It's a correction collar. There's absolutely nothing. They wouldn't sell them in the stores if they didn't work. Luke had something else to add to the lady's behavior. I asked her why it was on the dog. She said obviously the dog was barking too much, Luke said. However, Maya is a happy dog who loves to play and never makes much noise. She is a smart dog with playful nature. Is it fair to treat her like that? Meanwhile, Luke had other work going on. Luke and Lauren received the complete refund of the amount they paid in advance to the daycare, and now the couple is looking for a responsible daycare for their Maya, the best German Shepherd mix. This time they are more alert in taking visits and knowing the owner better, and the most important thing is the feedback from other dog owners about the place. Yet there are regular customers who deny this story and speak in support that they've been taking their pets to the Posh Pet Day Spa for years now and have never noticed anything like that. Also, they talk about Lynn, the owner, as a kind person and have claimed the best dog boarding in Chicago. This story leaves us at a point where we wish our loving dogs could speak and tell us their true story. Well, that's not possible, so why can't we think of them from our end? However, we do what's best for them to be certain, but we should be more alert and questioning and researching before we assign someone as our buddy's caretaker. Many facilities offer cageless dog boarding. They can't, but we can choose the best place for them.